Welcome back to TEFAP to Table. My name is Melissa. Today we are making bread. This bread comes together super quickly. It uses minimal ingredients and you can customize it to what you and your family enjoy. The full recipe, ingredients, instructions, and nutrition information will be at the end of the video for you to screenshot. To start out, you're going to either add 1 full cup of warm water or you can do half a cup of warm milk and half a cup of water. It is completely up to you and what you have on hand. If you do add the milk, you will add some extra protein, but I also understand that might not be accessible to everybody. You want to warm it to where it's not hot, but it is warm, so that way it'll help the yeast to bloom. Then we're going to do 2 teaspoons instant rise yeast, and we are going to let that sit for about 5 minutes until it becomes foamy and has bloomed. After the yeast has bloomed, we are going to add 2 cups of all-purpose flour. You can use bread flour or whole wheat flour. You can customize this to what you and your family like. After you add the flour, you are going to add in 2 tablespoons of oil, but you could also sub the oil for Greek yogurt if you're trying to add some extra protein. And then you are also going to add in 1 teaspoon of salt. Again, you can customize this to what your family enjoys. If you want to add some Italian herb, or if you wanted to add some everything but the bagel seasoning, make it how you like it. This is a very customizable recipe. This is just the base. So after we add in the flour, the spices, oil, etc., we are going to stir that in, mix everything until it is well combined, and then knead it a little bit by hand in the bowl. And then we are going to cover it with a towel or some saran wrap and let it sit for about 30 minutes. That's going to help the dough to rise, but it's also going to let the dough relax a little bit so that it's easier to work with when we're ready to roll it out. This is also a great time to preheat your oven to 375 and also grease your loaf pan. And so after the 30 minutes, we're going to go ahead and clean our surface and put down some flour and then pour the dough out onto the floured surface. We're not going to knead it necessarily, but we are going to shape it. And so if you want to shape it into smaller loaves, or if you want to make this into dinner rolls or any of those things, you could absolutely do that. After you have shaped it, then you're going to place it into your loaf pan or your baking sheet, wherever you're baking it. And if you're making a loaf, you want to add a few slits in the top of it. That allows the steam to escape so that your bread doesn't explode. If you're making rolls, you don't need to do that. This part is also optional, but I like to do an egg wash on the top of mine, just it helps it to really get a shiny golden top, but you could also just put some oil on top, or you don't have to do that step at all. Then we're going to place this in our preheated oven for about 20 to 30 minutes, but always check on it to see if it is turning golden. If it's turning golden really quickly, then you want to turn your heat down to 350. If it's looking good, then you can just leave it at that temperature. Once it is golden brown and it looks like it is done, we're going to go ahead and take it out of the oven after that 30 to 40 minutes, and then we're going to place it on a cooling rack for about 10 minutes because you want to let it cool down a little bit before you cut into it. That also helps it to finish baking in the center. And there you go. You made a very easy loaf of bread. And then to store this, I like to keep it in an airtight container. If I put it in like a plastic bag or something, I like to add a paper towel just to help absorb any moisture. That will help it from getting soggy and or getting too stiff. Or you can freeze it for up to 6 months. I hope that you enjoyed this recipe. And again, this is TEFAP to Table. My name is Melissa, and this is in collaboration with Love Inc. of the Yampa Valley. And I again want to express my sincere gratitude to Love Inc. of the Yampa Valley for allowing me to be a part of this class. I have thoroughly enjoyed being able to share the recipes, try out new recipes, and the classes and everything else. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. We'll see you on the next one.